Yeah, good morning everybody. Cloud ERP live stream, SAP On-Premise Quo Vadis. This is the topic of our week. And yeah, so yesterday I brought this elephant, you remember maybe? Yeah, elephant in the room is the overarching topic, which is SAP's announcement that certain innovations in the future will only be available on cloud and not on-premise. Which is created some press coverage and strong opinionated pieces in the press. Yeah. And what we're trying to do this week is to break it down a little bit into pieces and to look at facts and as far as we can know them. Yeah. So obviously we are not here. I'm not speaking for SAP or anything like that, because this is only my perspective, my perspective on facts as I perceive them. Yeah, so we have this like intelligent discussion and interaction between us, and we did some polls on Monday. We looked at the press coverages, and also on Tuesday we tackled the question of which is one of the reasons, or one of the big reasons companies stay on-premise or choose for on-premise, is the custom developments, deep configurability. Yeah, and yesterday we did a comparison between on-premise and cloud. What are different attributes of these two ways of using S/4HANA. Yeah, and today it's about hybrid approach, the best of both worlds. So let us move on here. And join us on menti.com, because it's always good if we have some interaction. Yeah, we are doing polls actually. And these polls are anonymous, so you don't have to reveal your identity. You can just tell us your opinion. You can vote, for example, for some. And join us at menti.com and use the code 55669615. You can pull that up on the browser, or even in on the mobile phone, maybe. It works in a mobile phone, so you can use the code 55669615. It's always better if we have a little bit interaction. It's more fun. It's more also interesting for us all. What you think, not only what I think, because as I said, I'm only sharing my perspective, and it's always good if you can also share a little bit of your perspective, and then I think this joint effort can bring us forward, and we can have more opinion. And you can also ask questions that we can address at the end. So thank you for joining. Already we have some joining, and looking forward to your opinion. So what are the most important reasons to stay on-premise? We did this at the beginning of the week. Just as a reminder. So in that poll we had compliance reasons, we had transformation cost, which were very high reasons. And personally I was a little bit surprised about it. I was not surprised that customer-specific development is quite high, but this compliance reason I was a little bit surprised, because I'm still trying to understand it. So maybe we can find another form of discussion, so that, because as I said yesterday, also limited functionality of the cloud is not the reason, obviously, and but if the functionality of the cloud covers everything that is needed for compliance, then I don't understand it. And also, but yeah, it's a valid reason. So me not understanding it doesn't mean it is not a valid reason. Yeah. So I believe you. Yeah. Or maybe in another discussion you can help me understand, even if we have so much customer-specific developments, then I think this is a certain contradiction to compliance. And yeah, really, especially if we think of security, data access, and even as we have in Europe this DSGVO, which is data protection of person-related data. So I personally think, in my opinion, it is better to do custom developments with a business technology platform, because there all is covered. But that's not the topic for today. So we had some interesting feedback here. Also transformation risk, security concerns, safeguard past investments. I understand that completely. So I don't want to invalidate those. In the opposite, I understand. We had yesterday a discussion, just as a reminder, these different forms of consuming S/4HANA deployment options, which is as a service in a public cloud or in a private cloud. And we compared them a little bit. What are the differences to on-premise? So as short, in on-premise you have a total control and customization. And in the public cloud you have a complete modern software as a service, ERP, RISE business transformation services also, that also we are offering, obviously. And then you have the private cloud, which is a little bit a mix of both. Yeah, you can have traditional flexibility to some degree. You have to do some transformation in your custom developments before you can go into the private cloud, but you have control over your system still. So that is, I'm not promoting this private cloud. I know many love that. Yeah, I'm also transparent. I'm a fan, a protagonist, as we say, of the public cloud. So that is obvious. Also, we have also clients we are serving big on-premise. Yeah, so that is no contradiction. Yeah, you can you can serve on-premise customers, and this is interesting because we focus here on process optimization. And we can still be a protagonist of public cloud, but these are the options we discussed yesterday. Maybe you want to check yesterday's live stream, and we did some analogy, so make it easier to understand or easier to remember, which is if you choose between a Lamborghini or a Tesla. Yeah, and we said, okay, so there are many very good attributes. Some love that legacy. Yeah. Of a Lamborghini, and you want to preserve this legacy, and this is a long history, and it has special performance attribute. It is prestigious, it is outstanding, and also exclusivity, also of course expensive. Yeah, but that's why it's exclusive to some. Yeah, so not many can afford Lamborghini actually. Yeah. But those who have, they are, I think it's a different level of moving across the roads than everybody else has. So so we did some comparison on that. And the Tesla, which has the newest cutting edge technology and also future oriented, economic friendly, and also has, most importantly, an infrastructure for downloading all the updates. Yeah? For example, if you consider full self-driving or autopilot, which is a functionality which is powered by strong AI in the Tesla center, yeah, then it's collecting tons of data from each Tesla car each day. Yeah, so they have the highest mileage in that by far, compared to, okay, this is not a Tesla ad. Yeah, you might feel that I'm that I have some also fan of Tesla, but also Lamborghini I like. Yeah, so and And yeah, you have this infrastructure which you get all these updates, yeah, and this is a completely different game, yeah. And that is a major difference between the two, and you wouldn't expect to have these updates in or this full self-driving or whatever, this autopilot in a Lamborghini. That doesn't fit to this way of living, way of thinking, and to this architecture, this technology, this design. It is okay. Maybe but this is what I'm thinking. Yeah. So you have to have a certain infrastructure to get all the new good stuff, and also Tesla is built for scalability, for economic, to stay economic, and they have this gigafactory design that they replicate over all the world, and that is, yeah, just a comparison, yeah, between maybe cloud on the right side and on-premise on the left side. So there's no good or bad, it's just different, yeah. But I think the important message is it is not feasible. It is not feasible to try to mix the two worlds. Yeah, they're different. They are different. Yeah, so you cannot mix them to think, yeah, that like this. So I have a certain understanding to what SAP announced. Yeah, we didn't even deep dive into that because, yeah, this AI stuff. Yeah, so you need a certain infrastructure. You need a certain data processing. You need a certain cloud. You need certain layers of doing heavy AI. Yeah, just like similar to a Tesla. And I can understand that this doesn't fit very well into the on-premise world. I can understand. At least I think I can understand. Yeah, I'm not deep into the technical discussions, but I have an imagination on how it could be difficult. Yeah, and maybe in the future we can also dive into this. Why this could be difficult, but for now let's say, okay, this is what SAP says, and I have a certain understanding to it. Yeah, so it is more than just a marketing thing. It is a different thinking, a different architecture, a different delivery model, a different framework, and yeah. So let's move on. Yeah, okay, and then yesterday we said, okay, but why fight? Yeah, why fight? Why could we not just say, okay, I can have both cars. Yeah, I can have a Lamborghini, I can have a Tesla, and I can have the legacy and prestige of an Lamborghini, and I can also have the innovations and all this new stuff from a Tesla. And okay, it's obvious. Yeah, so why just have on-premise or just have cloud? Yeah, can have both. Yeah, that is a good message. And if you have a look at this poll that we discussed on Monday also, we see that many customers, that is from Germany poll, are considering SAP on-prem or have on-premise solutions and still will have, which is 85% in the future. And so many have already cloud solutions and are considering, very many are considering cloud solutions. So that means, how does that add up? 85% will have SAP on-premise solutions, 77% are considering to have SAP cloud solutions or are planning. So this doesn't add up to 100%. This is the only explanation is they want to have both. So, and if you do the math, then you turn out it must be at least 60% wanting to have both. Yeah, which is the overwhelming majority. So that is not something out of the world. And what we also discussed was the digital strategies. We have leapfroggers, pacekeepers, and innovators. We discussed this on Monday, so you might want to revisit that live stream. And we have some organizational changes going on in companies. So we have acquisitions, we have subsidiaries, we have divestitures, we have incubations, we have autonomous divisions. So a company is not necessarily a monolithic entity, but it is a conglomeration of different legal entities, which is even changing. So even the customers we are serving, mostly they have at least 3 or sometimes, I don't know, 25, something between legal entities. And it's not it is still possible to maintain those within one system, obviously. So you can have one legacy, excuse me, I'm saying legacy, but I know S4HANA on-premise is not legacy, but a new thing. Yeah. So, but you can have everything in one on-premise solution, but you could have also everything in one cloud solution, but you could also have some here and some there, and that is what we understand by a hybrid. So this 2-tier deployment model. So this would be, for example, the acquisitions and future divestitures, in-house startups, new business units and subsidiaries. Organic growth of existing subsidiaries and joint ventures are those organizational events that help us or that let us think of how could we address them. So if you have, for example, a divestiture, here, or a future divestiture, you know now that you will sell a certain legal entity. And if you have everything in on-premise system, in one on-premise system, for example, or in one central ERP system, that's going to be difficult. So, or you want to carve out a certain department or a certain division, you want to carve out and make it an own legal entity. That's also going to be difficult. These are all things that happen. We have had them several times. These carving out projects are like really challenging. So it's always a good idea to think about how this could be done like more adaptively. So in that, therefore, this is the model. Could be the headquarters, could be, for example, S4HANA Cloud Private Edition, or because this is our topic, S4HANA on-premise. And then it could be for certain subsidiaries to have S4HANA Public Cloud. This is an option. So we did something similar in some projects. We had SAP Business by Design. If you remember, this is the first SAP cloud system for the mid-market. SAP Business by Design. Don't forget it. It's still a very good, very good ERP system, cloud ERP system for the mid-market also. But nowadays we are mostly talking about S4HANA Cloud. So we did this with subsidiary. For example, for an European EMEA distributor of products that were produced in US. The headquarter was even there. It was not S4HANA, it was ECC. And it's also possible to have ECC and then S4HANA Cloud and connect it to it. And then this exchange integration scenario, setting up this integration scenario between the two, ordering the products, shipping them to Europe, and then distributing them in Europe, for example. So that is a typical scenario. And this gives you a lighter, simpler, lower TCO and faster innovation for this subsidiaries. For in the example that I have in mind, the organizational structure in EMEA was much simpler than those in S4HANA or in the headquarters central on-premise system. In the on-premise system, we had so many cost centers. I couldn't believe. This was because of production. They had a matrix something and multiplied the dimensions, and there are so many cost centers. Because The headquarter was doing the production, but the subsidiary doesn't do the production in this example. Yeah, it does just distributing. So why should they have so many cost centers? Doesn't make any sense. So this subsidiary was very lean organizational structure and also very lean cloud system. Yeah, easier to implement, faster to implement, and also getting updates and so on faster. And that is a valid approach, and it is done by quite some companies actually. Yeah. So, and what do we have? So, for example, let us think a little bit. Yeah. So we could, for example, have a S/4HANA on-premise headquarter system. Yeah. We could have an SAP Analytics Cloud connected to it. We could have subsidiaries running on S/4HANA Cloud, for example, as we just said. And there's another possibility, for example, with integration scenario of SAP BTP, you can have an S/4HANA Cloud for intelligent intercompany reconciliation. Yeah? So there's a certain functionality in an S/4HANA Cloud. Even if you think on the central functions, you don't necessarily need to substitute an on-premise headquarter system if you want to take advantage of all the new and advanced functionality. Yeah. So why not, for example, take this cloud for intelligent intercompany reconciliation and take this is a central function which could be then complementary to the on-premise headquarters and utilize the additional AI power. Yeah. So there is not an argument for me to say, yeah, we need this AI on-premise necessarily, yeah, in my opinion, because you can still have that AI future, yeah, by complementing your on-premise headquarter, and you can utilize both. Yeah, you can take the cost advantages of your on-premise system by using it, yeah, longer. There is no need to discontinue it. Yeah, you have invested in it. You want to use it. You want to write it off. You want to use it over a longer period of time. It makes perfectly sense. Yeah, but you don't need to. You can still take advantage of the new technologies by, for example, using an additional S/4HANA Cloud system for intelligent intercompany reconciliation, even in the central functions. Yeah? And then you can decide step by step what you want to go. Yeah? For example, the one option, which is not really necessary, could be then later to go in the headquarters also for S/4HANA Cloud, but this is not necessary. Yeah, it is, you can just stay. So, and but there are other also interesting functionalities which can be complemented. For example, central purchasing. Yeah, you could implement an S/4HANA Cloud for central purchasing. Yeah, and then do the central purchasing for the headquarters and the subsidiaries, and maintain the central purchasing contract and delegate some of these purchasing contracts or receive the purchase requisition from each of these companies, and integrate them using SAP BTP. So even there's no limit for you to use that additional functionality, and even additional AI that can be expected to support this additional functionality. So the sky is the limit, I would say. So it is a possibility. It is a possibility, and therefore I find it hard to understand why this complaining is we want this AI in our on-premise. I find it hard to understand because you still have this option, S/4HANA Cloud for central purchasing, for example. And can extend your as we said, yeah. Why not have both? Why not have the Lamborghini and the Tesla? Yeah. Yeah. So these are the different options. So tell me your opinion. How much do you agree? Yeah. So now we have a poll, and yeah. So we can choose now and join us at menti.com. Use the code 55669615 and tell us your opinion. So how much do you agree to these statements? Yeah? I want to keep on-premise for a while. Yeah? Strongly agree or strongly disagree. And it makes sense to invest in cloud ERP. Yeah? Strongly disagree or strongly agree. And two-tier scenarios are relevant for me. Yeah? So join us at menti.com and tell us your opinion. So maybe I'll do a countdown. Yeah, 1 minute. So, what do you think? You can use that menti.com code 55669615 and let us know about your opinion in if you want to keep on-premise for a while. If it makes sense to invest in cloud ERP, or if the two-tier scenarios are relevant for you. Yeah. So we have 25 seconds to go, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what your opinion is on that. And it's always good to get some feedback and to know what you think, and yeah, so it's more interaction in this way. Of course, I know it's a not scientific tool, but yeah, let us have some fun. Okay, so thank you very much. So there's quite some diversity in the answers. So some don't want to keep their on-prem at all, or quite some want to keep their on-prem for a while. You can see by that curve what these answers are. And also I think two-tier scenarios are some no, some yes. Yeah, maybe more yes than no. And it makes sense to invest in cloud ERP is mainly overwhelming yes, with some doubts also, but it mainly yes, which is 4.3 as an average. So yeah, thank you very much. That is fun, and the more we can participate, and the more value we get out of these polls. So what can we do? We could do to start such a journey with a value analysis. Yeah, such a value analysis, and I will explain this also a little bit more tomorrow, is an assessment. It is a questionnaire. It is a tool from SAP which we can use to see how you are doing compared to others. Yesterday we used this comparison of a race between ERP on-premise and on the cloud, and to compare the performance indicators based on an assessment. So for that, it is not necessary to install some software or to do some technical stuff. It's only management. Yeah, they're meeting in a room or in an online meeting, whatever. And then we're doing this assessment. We have some questions. We have some questions about the balance sheet, the P&L, and also about your personal assessment. how you estimate your current process maturity in different dimensions, which is, for example, financials, and break it down a little bit, or purchasing and production and sales and so on. And then the desired maturity. And from that can be derived a gap analysis. Yeah? And then you get a benchmark to the competition. Obviously a benchmark how they replied, which is anonymously, obviously. And a roadmap for transformation. Yeah? So that is the value assessment. There's another possibility, which is the so-called process discovery analysis. If you are more like a bottom-up thinker, and you think, okay, let us take this possibility. I compared this to a microscope. Oops, what I'm doing here. So here I compared this to a microscope. It's more like a microscope, whereas the okay, let me do this. The value assessment. So this one can be compared more to a binocle, yeah? Because you look into the future, where you want to go, the management. Yeah? And this one, the other one, the process discovery analysis, is more like a microscope by which you can look into details of your processes and give it a great credibility of what you want to investigate about your ECC and S/4HANA processes, and identify and optimize inefficient processes. Yeah, you can improve, you can find some recommendations to improve your business performance and get recommendations for innovations. So this is a good point also to start. You get a results report as PDF, data-based process benchmark to competition also, but in this case, not what the others answered, but what the others have in the system also, to have it fair. So everybody's comparing to this, what he's also analyzing. And a roadmap to transformation. So that is possible. Consider this. Okay, let's go to questions. Are there any questions? Yeah, you can ask questions, type it into Menti, and also yeah, if you enter some question earlier or later, that's also possible. Yeah, and no question for today. So yeah, thank you very much. And tomorrow we will have a look at planning the leap, orchestrating a successful transformation. I will explain a little bit more what we can do to achieve that, what we have discussed so far. And yeah, happy to meet you again maybe tomorrow and join us. Thank you for joining today, and have a good day, successful working day. Goodbye.